So today I want to talk about an issue I get a lot of questions about. People often confuse the visa expiration date with the period of authorized stay that they're allowed to stay in the United States for. So let me take the example of a visitor visa. A person applies at the embassy for a visitor visa, and they're given a visa that's valid for 10 years. Some people think that they can just enter the United States and they're allowed to stay in as long as they're within that 10-year period. But that's not the case. A visa is simply kind of a pre-screening process. It is simply your permission to apply to enter the United States. So when you have a 10-year visa for a visitor visa, you can present yourself at any port of entry in the United States throughout that 10-year period and attempt to enter the United States. It is then up to that immigration officer to determine whether to admit you and for how long. So on that visitor visa, you can come in on an airplane. You can present yourself to the immigration officer and say, hey, I want to go to Disney World. And they will probably let you come in for up to 6 months on a visitor visa. And then your expiration date, your period of authorization that expires, will be on your I-94 form. You can find this form now online, and you can also usually find it in your passport. When they stamp your passport, they have the date that you're supposed to leave. So it's very important for you to understand the difference between the visa validity date, which, when you apply for a visa, it's going to be good for up to 10 years, and the period of authorized stay, which on a visitor visa, it's going to be 6 months or less each time you enter the United States. There are some very serious and significant consequences to overstaying a visa as well. If you overstay by more than 6 months, but less than a year, then you have accrued unlawful presence for that period of time. And if you leave the United States, you will trigger a 3-year bar from being able to re-enter the United States. If you stay for a year or more in unlawful presence, so you've overstayed your visitor visa or other visa by more than a year or a year or more, then you leave the United States, there's going to be a 10-year bar from you coming back. So very, very important to reach out to an experienced immigration attorney and to talk about your particular situation, especially if there's a risk that you may overstay your visa.